Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Brandon Morrow, and I get the pleasure and honor of serving as the lead pastor at Gateway Church. Gateway Church is a 10-year-old church plant and the first ever church plant from Little Rock Church. If you've had any help in this whole process, whether it be financial giving in the beginning or you've prayed for us throughout the whole process, just thanks. Gateway is in a season of growth right now. We've actually grown numerically throughout the whole summer, which is incredible. And if you don't know, that's a very rare thing to happen. And so we covet your prayers, not only yesterday, but today and tomorrow as well. So continue to keep praying for Gateway that we'll be faithful in our mission. Again, I said my name is Brandon. And I moved here, 4 or 5 months ago with my wife Erica and our 18-month-old son Elijah. And the story of how we got here is actually kind of interesting. Um, this is a story that started about a year ago this fall. We received a phone call from the leadership at Gateway Church, and they thought that we'd be suitable candidates for the leadership of their church. And so, we entertained the idea, and we did what any sane human being would possibly do. And so we Googled. We Googled what the area was like, what the schools were about, housing options, nearby shopping, kind of how do we distinguish whether or not this is going to be a great place to do ministry and a great place to raise our family. And sure enough, throughout that whole process, God was working on us and just, easing us into this whole process. And time again, throughout the different conversations we had leading up to a potential visit, we just felt like God was just paving the way for us to come and to do ministry here. And we were fully prepared to, at any given moment, to uproot our, we're native Kansans. We're going to uproot our whole lives and move to Arkansas. And so we had already scheduled and booked our trip, and we were excited about it. And then one day, we were getting ready to pull out of the driveway in Kansas, and I said to Eric, I'm so excited. Like, I just really think this is going to happen. And she agreed. And then maybe not a minute later, my phone rang, and it was one of the leaders of Gateway Church. And they said, sorry, you're not going to work. We miscommunicated. We're no longer interested in you as a potential candidate. And so we did the best that we could in responding, and we just said, hey, thanks. We want to pray for that next candidate, and we wish you the best of luck. And we hung up, and Erica looked at me, and she said, did that just happen? And I said, yeah, that just happened. And she said, I don't want to talk about it. And we both felt humiliated and defeated, slightly embarrassed. We felt like God had slighted us, and why would he put this on our hearts? Why would he affirm this in so many different ways and it not work out? And so we continued to serving faithfully where we were for the next 4 or 5 months. And we kind of forgot about Arkansas. We were on to the next thing. And God had opened up a door just in the weirdest of ways. And one day we received a random phone call. And it was one of the leaders at Gateway, and it said, hey, we made a miscommunication, a mistake on our end, and we want you to come out. And we're like, well, okay, this is a weird conversation to have. And sure enough, we were skeptical about it, but we decided we'd make the journey to visit the church, and they asked us if we'd come preach. And the preaching thing is actually pretty important because they hadn't asked any other candidate to preach, and so we took that as a sign, another affirmation that God again had wanted us in central Arkansas. And so we came out for our visit, and the whole trip here, about 7.5 hours, God was just working on us the whole time, and we talked and we dreamed and we planned even before we'd ever met anybody. And sure enough, when we did meet them, they were better than we could have thought and imagined. They were so gracious, loving. They were excited about meeting us. And after that weekend, we were driving home or in the car at some point, and we both kind of looked at each other and said, well, I think this is it. And sure enough, about a week later, they unanimously affirmed us as the next pastor of Gateway Church. And it's just been kind of an exciting and wild ride, and we've seen just the complete and utter obedience that people have here in their service to Jesus, and that they're sold out servants, and they're willing to do anything, and they give you the shirt off their back. And that's been humbling, and that's been always continually affirming that we were supposed to be here, and this is a place that God had put us in. So as a church, in our next journey, and as we're being faithful to the call of Jesus, we want to be the best evangelists. We want to be the best disciple makers. We want to be the best servants possible. And so that's what we're looking forward to as a church. That's what I'm looking forward to as a leader, and I'm looking forward to partnering with existing organizations and reaching new people and lost people for Jesus Christ. And so that's a little bit about our story. That's a little bit about our journey. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you if you have been a part of the long history of Gateway, whether you gave financially in the beginning or you've prayed for us or in the church the whole time. So just thank you, a big thank you to Ryland Brown, your preaching minister who was so hospitable to us when we first arrived in Arkansas. You have a great leader in him. A big thank you to Len Cook and the Arkansas Church Planting Network and the work that they do in seeking to reach lost people all over Arkansas. And a big thank you to you again for being a part of that. We thank you for your hearts, and we hope and pray that other people are encouraged by that, and many will come to find Jesus through your doors. And so again, my name is Brandon Morrow. I'm the pastor of Gateway Church, and this is just a short message about Gateway and our story. Thanks.